What's happening, y'all? Rich Sosa coming back at you with another video today. And before we get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank the Lord above, King Jesus, for another day and another opportunity. So comment down TG for thank God and where you're tuning in from, and I'll definitely be sure to get back to you with a response. So as you can see from the looks of the gameplay, title, and thumbnail, today we're getting to one of the best defensive big man builds in NBA 2K25 next gen, and y'all know I had to go ahead and throw on that finals Chet Holmgren face scan. And this is going to be an archetype that you can really compete against the meta today and really use throughout the rest of the year in NBA 2K25. Now, I got y'all with 2 to 3 different versions that you can use, and I just want to say thank y'all so much for being able to come through on every single one of these videos. We are building one of the most positive Christ-like minded communities here in the 2K community, but also as on YouTube as a whole, bro. So none of this would be possible without y'all, and of course, man, number one, God. So I want to say with this gameplay, you're going to be able to get everything that you need out of a big man. And if you're running with somebody who needs a new build, send them this video, and I'm telling y'all, this is going to be a build that can really help out just about any team. So before we move any further, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. Now I'm going to be opening up with a little scripture today. This one's going to be coming out of 1 Timothy 4 verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. And this is just a strong message that I want to spread out to y'all, the 2K community, to let y'all know to keep your mind and heads and, especially your soul in the right direction, bro. To be able to, follow Christ and put it out on these 2K videos for y'all is something that, for me, it's a blessing in my life, bro. And if I'm not leading y'all correctly, I'm not fulfilling my purpose, bro. So I want to be sure that every time, you come across a video of mine, that you're going to get some knowledge with it too, bro. So thank y'all for coming through. Now, when it comes towards these builds today, I just want to go ahead and say you can make any type of changes, adjustments to your own liking, but everything from the gameplay is exactly what you're going to see and get with out of these archetypes too. So starting out when it comes towards making the actual first one, we're going to make it out of that center position. Now for that height, let's go with 7 feet. The weight, we're going to go with 246 pounds with a 7'2" wingspan. Now, this build's going to come out to the 2-way inside-out playmaker, and I'm pretty sure with cap breakers, bro, you're going to be able to change the build name a few different times, so just something to think about. Now, when it comes towards the physicals, we're going to go with a 70 speed. From there, let's go with the 50 agility. 91 when it comes towards that strength, but you're going to be able to throw 4 cap breakers towards this area to get it up to a 95. And then for that vertical, let's go up to a 74. So I can say not bad. I've worked with a 50 and below when it comes towards that agility, and this is something that I don't think it's going to affect the build. And if you wanted to, you really don't even have to use the cap breakers towards that strength. You can use a takeover to actually get it to 99. So it's all going to come down to your preference, your liking. Now, starting from the top down, let's go ahead and get into that finishing. The close shot, I'm going to put to an 81, 45 driving layup, 65 driving dunk, and the key area here is to get the elite standing contact dunk. So let's go with a 90 with a 61 post control. So, even if you were to throw 5 cap breakers towards that driving dunk, you'll be able to get some of the upgraded park dunks. But so far, when it comes towards the interior, I think this build is perfect. Now, I did take a little sacrifice out of this area to get more out of that defensive, and you're going to see what I mean in a moment. Now, for the shooting, let's go with a 73 mid-range shot, 83 three-pointer, and a 69 free throw. So you still got the ratings to get some of the better bases and releases, and you are definitely a popper on this build regardless if you're shooting from the 3 or the mid-range. Now, moving into the playmaking, let's go ahead and put that pass accuracy up to an 87, and I think it's best to throw 5 cap breakers towards this area just so that way you can get at least most of the upgraded passing styles, but you'll be able to be a much faster passer with this rating. Now let's go with the 54 ball handle, 31 speed with ball. I'm not too focused on these areas, but the next one, I'm telling y'all, this is going to make everything good. Now, starting with that interior defense, let's go with an 85. You're going to throw 5 cap breakers up this to get a 90. Starting with the perimeter, you want to be able to guard just about anybody, especially guards. So let's go with the minimum of a 62. 40 steal with a 93 block, and you're going to want to throw 1 cap breaker towards this area just so that way you can get it up to a 94. Now, as we get into the rebounding, let's go with an 80 offensive, 95 defensive. So for this first version, you can pretty much do everything from score on the interior, shoot on outside, definitely be a defensive threat and rebound, but definitely down low you can be a bully and also throw the rock and the dime quickly. So I think that's something that's special with this version. Now, coming up at number 2, man, and these are in no specific order, but this next one, I think it's really nice, especially when it comes towards the playmaking side. So this build's going to come out to the 3-level scoring playmaker, and we're going to be making this one out of that center position. The height, we're going to go with 7 feet, 240 when it comes towards the weight, with a 7'4" wingspan. Now, when it comes towards each of these builds, feel free to make the own types of changes and adjustments that you want to make, but starting with the actual physicals, let's go with a 71 speed, 60 agility, 87 strength, but we're going to throw 2 cap breakers towards this area to get it up to an 89. Now with that vertical, let's go up to an 80, and a 1+ here for the cap breakers, get it up to an 81. And I think these numbers are perfect. Now as far as when it comes towards this next area, I'm telling you, I like to start from top to bottom, but the physicals really do give you an idea of what you should expect out of this build when it comes towards the animations when we upgrade these attributes. So when it comes towards the actual defense, let's go ahead and put that interior up to an 82, 60 for that perimeter, 37 steal, 78 block, and then for that rebounding, let's go with a 91 when it comes towards the offensive, and an 81 for that defensive. Now, if you throw 5 cap breakers towards that offensive rebound, you'll get it up to a 96. You'll pretty much be able to get the best badges when it comes towards rebounding. Now, as far as when it comes towards this next area, starting with the playmaking, let's go ahead and put that pass accuracy up to an 87, 70 ball handle with a 60 speed with ball. Now, you get most of the pro dribble animations as a big man, the pass accuracy, the 87, most of the upgraded passing styles, and you can still throw the rock on a dime whenever needed. So I would say this build is probably a little bit more balanced. Now, when it comes towards the shooting, so for the mid-range shot, let's go up to an 86 +1 cap breaker here. That's going to get us that Kevin Durant go-to move shot. 80 when it comes towards that 3-pointer with a 72 free throw. And this is a build that you can pretty much take, into the rec, the pro-am, the 1v1 court. I think it's all around, and with cap breakers, man, you pretty much have everything needed at your arsenal. You'll be able to be at the line and make shots, and on top of that, bro, the finishing, I gotta say this is probably my favorite area on this one. Now, that post control, let's go with an 87, 81 standing dunk. That does give you those pro standing contact dunks. The driving dunk, we're going to go up to an 87, 70 for that driving layup, and throw the rest into that close shot. Now, as you can see, we get some of the upgraded layup styles, and I think these are some of the good ones that you can work with on this archetype. The 87 driving dunk potential to get contact dunks, and then on top of that, man, the interior, I think we're nice because you are par post score. So it's all going to come down to your play style, your preference, and how you want to move. But as far as for bringing y'all actual builds that you can use and be a little bit more unique, that's something that I want to, aim to put out in every single video for y'all. So I appreciate you, man, coming through, and if you have not done so already, smash that like button. Now, got one more final build locked in with y'all, and this one we're actually going to be making it out of that power forward position. Now, starting with that height, let's go with 7 feet, 234 when it comes towards that weight, with a 7'8" wingspan. So this is all going to come down to preference, how you want to go about this, especially when it comes towards, the physicals. This is something that I think is a little bit different from the previous archetype, but I would say it's kind of a mix of the two. And you can really aim to take this build into the rec, the pro-am. I think this is going to be probably the best one for that. So starting with the physicals, let's go with the 71 speed, 51 agility, 82 strength with an 85 vertical, and that pretty much right there is already going to solidify that you're going to be some type of threat on the interior with that high of a vertical. Now, especially at this height of a big man, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a little bit different. Now, with that close shot, let's go with a 60, 80 when it comes towards that driving layup, 90 driving dunk, 90 standing dunk with a 55 post control. So this build says slasher all over it. We get the best upgraded layup styles, pro contact dunks as a big man with elite standing contact dunks, and on top of that, bro, this is just the start. We're going to be able to shoot on this build as well. So for that mid-range shot, let's go up to a 78, 74 3-pointer, 88 for that free throw, and I think this is perfect to be able to take this build to the rim and get contact and finish, to be able to draw fouls. I think this is going to be a build that is perfect for getting that done down low. Now, getting into that pass accuracy, let's go with a 75. The ball handle, let's go to a 65. Speed with ball, this is going to go automatically up to a 40. So you get some of the upgraded passing styles, some of the upgraded dribble moves. You're still going to be able to move around this build pretty efficiently. Now, getting into that defense, let's go with a 77 interior, 65 perimeter, 67 steal. As far as when it comes towards that block, 93, 91 defensive rebound with a 77 offensive. So this build, I think it has a lot more firepower when it comes towards the interior and driving at the rim, but the other two, they're more stationary and they can still get the job done down low. Now, you pretty much have both options available to you. If you want to be more of a big man that's just going to be posting people up, I brought y'all a build for that. If you want to be moving around like I would say a Giannis type build, this is going to be the one for you. And even if you want it to be a little bit more like Nikola Jokic, dribbling, being able to shoot over anybody and still be able to take it to the rim and finish, I got that for y'all as well, man. So I just want to say thank every single one of y'all for your support. I got another video like this dropping for you tomorrow. So if you have any types of recommendations on which kind of builds or which NBA player that y'all want me to use in the next video, comment down below and I'll definitely get y'all right. So before we get out of here, man, I want to say thank you one more time for your support. God bless every single one of you. And thank the Lord above, King Jesus, for another day and another opportunity. So if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And last but definitely not least, with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out. Ooh! Heat. You know. Smash. See that passing style so slow. Ooh! Sometimes you just gotta throw that. Oh, I think you a little slow though.
Yeah, I'm a little slow, but.
Weren't you? What build were you on before?
Yeah, I was just on the figure.
Oh, okay.
Let's
go.
Please.
Let's go. This stuff.